Hello there, welcome back to my views on news. Viewers, now we have received complete details of the proclamation of a state of emergency imposed by Ethiopian Council of Ministers today. It seems that Ethiopian government has made a plan to crush Fano. We'll have a detailed look at this plan. Can this plan work? That's another thing. But what is government's preparation? Who is going to lead this state of emergency setup established at federal level and in Amhara region? And how does government want to crush Fano? Is this state of emergency proclamation applicable to the Amhara region or entire country? And could there be large-scale arrests of Amhara across the country, like we saw arrests of Tigrayans? Several questions. We have a detailed look at this state of emergency proclamation issued today, approved by Council of Ministers. Viewers, this morning, PMRB headed a meeting of National Council of Ministers, and Council of Ministers approved this the announcement of state of emergency in Amhara. But this proclamation is not applicable to just Amhara. State of emergency is applicable to entire Ethiopia. So if in any part of Ethiopia anything happens which can aggravate the situation in Amhara region, action can be taken under this state of emergency proclamation. It means that emergency has been imposed in entire Ethiopia. For example, if in southern Ethiopia, if in Oromia, or if in Tigray something happens, people start supporting Fano fighters, they start taking out rallies. Those rally participants can be arrested under this emergency proclamation. Main points. This state of emergency proclamation is applicable to entire country. It is for 6 months. Though House of Representatives is going to approve this proclamation. Let's see, will the House approve it or not? Who is going to lead the setup at federal level established under the state of emergency proclamation? Tamaskan Tirone. Tamaskan Tirone is Ethiopian Intelligence Agency Chief, National Intelligence and Security Service, NIS. He is leading it. He is an Amhara, by the way, viewers. And I remember last year when Ethiopian federal government and Amhara regional government decided to disband Fano factions, he was the one who criticized Fano, who supported the disbandment of informal groups like Fano. He said those who fought in social media, they claim to be the protectors of Ethiopia. These groups fought in social media only. I remember I did a video back then. He criticized Fano without naming Fano last year. Now he is heading the state of emergency proclamation setup at federal level. He is monitoring, he is heading the entire setup, and he'll report to the Prime Minister. In the Amhara region, obviously, command posts are going to be established. Not made public, but reportedly, 2 JNLs have been tasked with establishment of command posts. JNL Abebao Tadase, already involved in this military operation against Amhara Fano fighters for months, and people, Amhara, Fano fighters, Amhara hardliners, they don't like Ababa Tadase. They say he's a traitor. By the way, he was a hero last year when he was leading ENDF troops in Tigray. Back then he was a hero in Amhara, now he is a traitor. Ababa Tadase. Secondly, Birhano Bakale, another general. Two generals are going to lead the command posts being established in the Amhara region, reportedly. Not made public, not made official, not official confirmation, but that is what we have learned. In the region, Amhara region, government officials, some prosperity party members are being appointed to lead regions, zones. Basically, zone will be led by military. But these PP members will be there too. For North Shore, Desalin Tassiu has been nominated. For Gojam, Dijene Lemenio. For Volo, Bemlako Abe. For Gonda, three names reportedly: Dasse, Dejen, Sisedamte, and Zilelio Lij Alam. These prosperity party officials are going to be administrators, you can say. They'll support Ethiopian National Defense Force, a command post leaders. Now, what are the powers of those who are part of this setup? What can they do? Firstly, all public gatherings are banned. In entire Ethiopia, you can say, particularly banned in Amhara, but in other parts of Ethiopia too. No one can hold a public gathering without approval from the government. Carrying of weapons completely banned in the Amhara region. Thirdly, very importantly, if anyone has been found supporting the extremist groups in the Amhara region, will be arrested, prosecuted, imprisoned, sentenced. It means that no one can support Fano fighters physically, logistically, through social media. If anyone is found having links with Fano fighters in any part of Ethiopia, he or she will be arrested. Like we saw when there was war on Tigray, that Tigrayans living across Ethiopia were arrested. Some had links with TPLF, some did not. But if there was suspicion that they had links, they were arrested. And tens of thousands were put in prisons across Ethiopia. They were then put in different prisons, not just in Amhara, in Amhara, Oromia, Afar, Addis Ababa. Same is going to happen now to the Amhara people. Large scale arrests of Amhara people. Those who support Fano, those who speak in support of Fano, those who fund Fano, those who provide weapons, provide logistics to Fano, etc., etc. Importantly, the arrests, the actions taken by forces, security forces, under this emergency proclamation cannot be challenged at any court. It means courts cannot free those people who are going to be arrested under the state of emergency proclamation. Only those who are heading the setup, END officials, government officials, they can release them. Courts will have no jurisdiction. Already Ethiopian courts are not independent, but through this state of emergency proclamation, courts have been sidelined. Now, anyone can be arrested, and family members, relatives cannot request, they cannot file petitions at any court in Ethiopia. So government has made it clear that it wants to crush Fano once and for all. It has decided. And today was relatively calm day, I would say. It wasn't total calm, but if you compare today and yesterday, today was less fighting than yesterday. Why? Because government is busy. Government is making preparations to make and implement big decisions in Amhara. I think from tomorrow or from day after tomorrow, we're going to see large-scale arrests across Ethiopia in Amhara, intensified fighting, crackdown on media, crackdown on journalists, social media activists. Already, an Amhara singer, Desai Wale, was arrested in Addis Ababa today. He's a very staunch supporter of Fano fighters. Everyone knows that, arrested today. And we could say similar arrests in large numbers across Ethiopia, starting from tomorrow, I think, though the arrests could be in the pipeline. And by the way, some sources claim that ethnic profiling is being done in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. Amharas live there in large number. These Amharas could support Fano fighters. It is being suspected by the federal government. Lists are being prepared. Ethnic Amharas living in Addis Ababa who are suspected that they could be supporters of Fano, they could be arrested. Arrests could start tonight or tomorrow. So this implementation will start, I think, tomorrow or in coming hours. Today, government was focused on making preparation for the implementation of state of emergency proclamation. While Fano is announcing control of towns and establishment of governments, local governments. So far, Fano has announced establishment of administration in 3 woredas of the Amhara region. This morning, they claim that they had taken full control of Fano Islam, West Gojam, and that discussions were underway for the establishment of interim setup there, and that temporary command post had been established in Fano Islam. Then, after a few hours, we saw pictures from Mertole Mariam. In Mertole Mariam, again, they have taken full control of the town and they have announced the formation of temporary administration there. I think Mertole Mariam is in East Gojam. Fano Islam is in West Gojam. Secondly, Sakela. Sakela is in West Gojam, close to Fano Islam, under full Fano control. Both Sakela and Fano Islam are very close. Reported in Sakela as well, Fano fighters are establishing a temporary government, temporary command posts are being established. People are being instructed that they should not violate temporary command post orders. So, Fano is establishing local governments, consolidating its control in the region, in some towns, and Ethiopian government has finalized, not implemented, finalized a plan to crush Fano. Coming days, very crucial. I have only one question, which I asked in the previous video too. If this tactic, this move of the federal government to crush Fano through imposition of state of emergency fails, what is next? Does the government have other tricks up its sleeves or not? Won't the government be in a difficult position if this state of emergency proclamation is somehow tackled by Fano fighters? That we'll see in coming days. Thank you for watching.